Just testing my audio here. This is Bill.
Bill, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I can't see me either. I've got to figure out what we got here then. Let's see, maybe.
In the lower left-hand side, it should say video.
Yeah, I see down there now. I'll put start video. There we go.
Here we go. Magic.
Thank you, Camille. Hello, Felicia.
Hi, how are you all?
And that
Buddy,
must be
wonderful to see
the
you.
McGuire Battle.
I'm glad I'm here.
Well, there's Buddy Derrick. Hello, Buddy Derrick. We've not
Hey.
met personally, but I hope to in June.
Sooner the better.
Absolutely.
Jake, how you doing? Jake, you're muted.
I'm muted. I'm doing well. How's everyone this evening?
Afternoon, Jake.
Hello.
It looks like McGuire Battle went away.
Janie, can we see your face for just a moment?
I hope we did
There we
this.
are.
GW Bruto from McGuirewood. Good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, McGuire Battle.
All right, there we go.
Let's see here. I made myself some meeting notes here and I have to keep looking at my iPad from time to time. Let's see. Would you be Mr. Bruno?
That's me, yes. And I have with me here, I have Ann Curtis Saunders, and I have Max Chu and Jordan LaPointe. Ann Curtis is, she works with me, and Max and Jordan are here for the summer. So we're gonna teach them all about bonds in the short time that we have together this afternoon.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I turned off the video somehow again. There I am. And there's Camille, we've lost you.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Let's see, now we have myself, Felicia, Jake, and Camille, and Buddy. There's 4 members, so we definitely have a quorum. I'm not sure. Let's see, we would be missing so far Liz and Tammy. And it's, well, where did my time go there? There it is. Oh, we still got a couple of minutes to go, so let's wait for them. This should be oh, we're missing Daniel Laura as well.
Yes, he should be joining any moment. Or there he is.
I'm here. Can you all hear me?
Hello, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Yes.
Hi, good
Charles.
afternoon.
All right, so now we know that if nobody else shows up, everybody probably will show up here pretty shortly, but if we don't, we do have a quorum, and everybody that we have to have is here, and we can do this thing. Okay. Again, I had forgotten that the agenda comes up on my screen. I had it on my iPad down here as well. But this is the first time I've been the chair, and so I made myself notes so that I wouldn't make a total fool of myself, but maybe I'll do that anyway. We can never tell. All right.
Hey, Tammy.
Hi, how are you?
Well, hello, Tammy.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm gonna try to sometimes mute myself so that my barky dog does not disturb everybody. Nice to see everybody.
Yes, now we lost Buddy.
I think I may have to go back out and come back in. The camera's not picking me up.
Who is this? Tammy speaking?
This is Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth, I do hear you, and I see the black screen. And as Camille pointed out to me, down in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little video screen icon down there. If you click on that, it probably shows that your video.
There it
you
comes, there
are.
it comes. Yeah, there we go.
There you
One
go.
time when this happened, I had to go back out and come back in, but this time it worked great. I should have put on more makeup. Camille, it is great to see you.
You too, Elizabeth.
Many, many moons. And Felicia, babe.
See, now there's Buddy. Buddy's back again. Now let's see. This is peculiar. On my screen, I can see Buddy if I click down, but then that must be Dave Presnicki at the bottom. Yes.
David,
There's Charles Alligood. So we have sort of a limited screen here, but I do know that everybody is here. And so let's turn this over to Jake. Let Jake make a roll, and then we'll get started.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do believe, it looks like we have full attendance by the IDA board. So we do have a quorum. And if you'd like to call the meeting to order and move on to the first item of business.
This sounds good. Okay, so we are called to order then, and we have our minutes to approve from the prior meeting of October the 26th in 2020. Are there comments, discussion about the minutes from that meeting? We will be following up that meeting with another meeting in June. June the 16th is the tentative schedule. And we will discuss the funding of a study and the nature of a study at that meeting. Do I have pardon me, do I have a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting?
Bill, I have a question from Janie first.
Okay, that's great.
Janie, you and I talked earlier today, and there was one question I had about Stonewall versus Spotswood property. Did you resolve that?
I did, and it was Stonewall in the audio.
Thank you for that. There are two minor, just grammatical corrections that I gave to Janie, but moved to approve the minutes as presented.
Is there a second then?
Second.
Excellent. Then the minutes are hereby approved, and we can move to the primary reason that we're here today.
Mr. Chair, if you would, for the record, have a roll call vote.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. See there, new chair here. Okay, so we'll roll call that. Ms. Bush,
Yes, I approve those minutes.
Mr. Derrick,
Approve.
Ms. Helwig,
Approve.
Approve,
Ms. Miller,
approve.
Ms. Ramey,
Uh,
Ramsey, I'm sorry.
I wasn't on the board when these minutes were done, so I think I should not vote.
Very good. We'll have you as an abstention then, and then
Well,
I do approve.
abstention this time.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, so the minutes are approved then, and then we can move on to our resolution approving the issuance of the $30 million of revenue refunding bonds. I believe, Jake, you were going to make a presentation on that, and then Daniel would follow up.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. So to provide a little background on this item, last week on May 19th, city staff was contacted by Mr. David Presnicki with the VMI Alumni Agencies Board with a request for a refunding bond issuance through the IDA as conduit. This refunding effort would be for their Series 2016 bonds that were issued through the IDA at that time. And this resolution and financing documents you have before you this evening detail their request, which is a refunding of up to $30 million in refunding revenue bonds. And I believe this is for partial maturities, but not all maturities of their 2016 bond issue. So here before you, you have the resolution. The resolution, if adopted, will authorize the execution of documents 2 through 5 in your agenda packet. They're at substantial completion at this point, but obviously won't be finalized until after the bond sale and the final figures are in place. But the resolution does authorize their approval once the bond sale is complete. With that, again, as Chair King mentioned, we have Daniel Lauro with us this evening. He is bond counsel for both the city and the IDA. as well as Mr. David Prasnicki from BMI Alumni Agencies Board, and McGuire Woods, representatives from McGuire Woods as BMI Bond Counsel. So with that, first, Daniel, I'll just touch pass to you if there's anything I may have missed in that briefing that you'd like to touch upon.
Well, no, you did a great job, Jake. A few things, the questions that we normally get is what happens if VMI doesn't pay? There's no liability to the IDA to pay. If for some reason VMI doesn't, or these agencies don't pay, we don't expect that will happen, obviously. And also another question we often see is there any liability to the IDA members? And there is none to the IDA members as long as you all are not committing outright fraud or something of that nature. So those are the two biggest questions we get. Another question I've often heard is why is the Lexington IDA issuing these bonds for VMI or in other situations for other conduit borrowers? One, other than being good, community citizens, this also does generate some revenue for the Lexington IDA that you can use for other projects. There is an application fee of $2,500, which I understand is on its way, and there are also annual administrative fees. So there is some benefit to Lexington IDA doing this beyond just being good citizens. Those are the main things we typically hear and see in these types of conduit financings, but I'm glad to take any questions if you have. I know the folks from McGuire Woods have a lot more detail if you want to ask them any questions, and they may have a presentation as well.
Daniel, this is Bill King. I had one question. It's not a big deal. What is the maturity date on the new bonds?
I think I'm sorry, Daniel. Hey, good evening. This is T.W. Bruno from McGuire. I think the plan is to keep the bond maturity the same as December 1st of 2036.
Thank you.
And just to provide some additional information, I'm now in receipt of the $2,500 application fee. Mr. Prasnicki just brought it to me within the past hour, so we are in receipt of that. And additionally, the term sheet for IDA conduit issuance is attached for your reference. Once we have the final principal amount of the refunding issue, I'll be happy to calculate the annual fees and provide that to the board as well as VMI and their counsel as well.
Are there other questions or discussion? Do we have a motion from the floor to?
Bill?
Yes.
I have two questions, probably
All right.
for Jake and Daniel. I don't question the bond issuance at all. I mean, it's very straightforward and VMI is a straight up player. But I do have two questions that are out of curiosity, and they're not deal breakers, but one of which is rarely have I seen anything go with this level of speed from a request to the city to a meeting of IDA. So the request was made May 19th, and here we are May 27th, and we're having this conversation, which is very unusual. So a question I have is why this sense of urgency? And then the second one I have is really just more protocol, which is, was this, given the speed of this movement, appropriately noticed in the newspaper with the appropriate advertisements to the public?
I'll defer to Daniel on that one, but I can say that I believe Daniel notified me that since this isn't a new money issue, it's a refunding, it does not require a public hearing, notification of public hearing. And additionally, yes, this has been a very fast track process.
There's feedback. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just going to say that Daniel had informed me that since this is a refunding issue and not a new money issue, it did not require a public hearing and notification.
Okay.
So, and obviously this has been a very fast track, fast moving process. I believe that VMI would like to get IDA approval and bring this before the Virginia Treasury Board. They have a meeting coming up in early June. So I think that time is sort of the essence because of that meeting date. And I believe they would like to take advantage of the current market conditions for a really good environment for interest savings, potential interest savings. But I can, of course, defer to Daniel if he has any additional information on those questions.
What I would say is I'm certainly not opposed to this, but I would really urge us to have caution, because I think anytime we move very quickly without the public's awareness of what we're doing, we stand a problem of really misrepresenting what government does. So I can support it this time, but I would urge caution in the future.
Mr. Chairman,
Other questions or discussion? Yeah.
Mr. King, I believe Mr. Prasnicki had a question.
Okay, very good.
Mr. Chairman, first off, I really do want to thank you for taking this up in such a quick manner. And it is based on financials. Again, most of this money was expended by 2018 on projects that are already done at VMI. And this is just a refinancing of that. And because of the interest rate situation that's happened within the last few months, the speed is of the essence for us right now. Again, the net savings to us is going to be in the millions. And so again, I always look at things at VMI in-state scholarships, and I hope to give at least 10 more a year. So if we can get this through Treasury and through this board and get it on the market in the right time, it's going to be a meaningful chunk of change for VMI and cadets at VMI. For that, again, I thank this committee and you and the chairman and the group. So again, thank you.
Very good. And by the way, I want to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut off anybody's discussion there. My screen had a limited number of pictures on it, and I didn't see Mr. Prasnicki indicating he wanted to say something. Now, are there other comments, discussion? Okay, is there a motion from the floor?
I so move.
Mr. Derrick has moved that we approve the resolution for the issuance of up to the $30 million of revenue refunding for the benefit of the VMI Alumni Agencies Board, Inc. and VMI Foundation. Is there a second?
Second.
So we have a move and a second, and it's let's take our roll call vote here then. Ms. Bush,
Yes, I approve moving forward.
Mr. Derrick,
Aye.
Ms. Helwig,
Approve.
Ms. Miller,
Aye.
Ms. Ramsey,
Elizabeth, you're muted.
let's see.
I always do that in meetings. Aye.
Very
And by the way, I think I was on the IDA when these original bonds were approved.
Okay, and the last member is myself, King. I vote aye. So the resolution is adopted, and I thank you all for being here. And we can then, as I indicated at the beginning, we will have our regular meeting on June the 16th, and I'll provide you with information coming up on that. And I'll discuss this with Council Member Alligood beforehand and with the rest of you as well. Thank you very much. And there is no requirement for a motion for adjournment, so I declare our meeting adjourned. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.